Justin here with Jay's Haven, coming to you from the goat house tonight. And we actually have a sick goat that gave us quite a scare a few days ago. So we're going to kind of focus on that this evening. And you can see these guys are just an awful lot of fun. Right now everybody seems pretty perky and acting like themselves, and so we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the ways that you can tell a goat is sick.
So if they lay down, especially when it's time for feeding, then you know that they're not feeling very well at all.
Right. Although Stella kind of took us by surprise the other morning. So Stella didn't have any outward signs of being sick the night before.
Yeah, because they can cough. If they cough, that's obviously a sign right now. If they're coughing a lot, they have something going on.
Right.
She wasn't coughing. She was suppressing it, making different noises that we couldn't hear.
And the reason for that is?
I have no idea. Oh, okay, well, the herd thing. They want to be strong in their herd so they don't get eaten by mountain lions and tigers and bears and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Or just coyotes or stuff like that around here. Ooh.
Yeah,
sorry.
Don't say that.
Stuff like that around here.
We don't want to deal with those.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Stella actually suppressed the fact that she was sick because she is a prey animal, just like Justin was saying. So especially with herd dynamics like this, they don't want to come off like the weak one. So Stella did not cough. She did not come off lethargic. She was up, she was eating, she was moving around and acting like herself. It wasn't until the next morning that we were able to tell that she was very sick. And oftentimes by the time you can actually see those outward signs, the illness has taken such a strong hold. So when Justin came out to feed them that morning, Stella actually gave a cough for the first time and fell over. So at that point we knew we had an emergency situation on our hands. Now, we've had her tested, we've had her into the vet. We had a round of very mild pneumonia a couple months back, and we treated for that. Stella was not one of the ones that needed to be treated at that time. Her lungs were clear and everything. But Justin made a very good decision, a very good call to go ahead and spend the extra money and do a culture to see what we were actually dealing with and just make sure that the medicine we were going to give her would take care of that problem.
Yes.
Anyhow, Justin and I did something that we normally wouldn't recommend to people. I'm not one for being a compulsive person as far as collecting animals or anything like that. I think people need to do their research before they get into raising any kind of animal, actually. But we were in kind of a little different situation when we moved out here. So the previous owners were willing to leave behind 3 little baby goats for us as a gift. And so Stella, who is our sick goat tonight, she is one of the original 3. And again, a little different situation. And I thought I really didn't know much about goats. Neither Justin or I knew much about goats at all. But being a horse girl and being a country kid originally, I thought no problem. You know, I've had horses in my life for over 40 years, and I thought, well, we can handle this. It can't be that much different, right? But it is.
Yes.
They are. We've learned a lot the hard way, right? Right.
For the most part, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just when they get sick, and it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it does suck. It's not fun. It's scary. We get asked all the time, you know, do you guys milk your goats? What do you do with them? They are just our very, very beloved pets. You know, milking goats, all of that, that's a totally different situation. Right now we're just having fun, having them around. And again, if they show signs of being sick, it's a very serious thing at that point. So pneumonia tends to be one of the biggest fears of goat owners, and that is what we're dealing with Stella right now. But it just so happens that the bacteria that's causing it doesn't usually present itself in that manner. So the bacteria that's causing it is called moraxella or moraxella. I'm not sure exactly how you say it, but it's one that's more common with pink eye, conjunctivitis, and things like that. More common in cattle. So the fact that we did that culture and Justin made that good call is very helpful, because that's something that nobody would have guessed to be causing Stella's pneumonia. So tonight you're going to see Stella get a shot. We'll have future videos where we go more in depth on that, on how to do it and the things that we've learned. We're not experts by any means, but there are some things we've learned and some methods we've come to appreciate. One of the things that we have learned the hard way with goats is goats don't do very well with oral medication. So all the vets will gladly give you syringes, and you have to learn to give injections for them. Because otherwise the oral meds oftentimes will tend to sit in the rumen of the goat and not do the work that they're supposed to do. So you have to give a shot, oftentimes a subcutaneous shot, sub-Q they call it, and that's what we're going to do for Stella tonight. It's not one that goes into the muscle, but it is a sub-Q shot, and she actually does pretty well for that. So here we go. Oh, the other thing is that most vets will ask you immediately if you've taken the goat's temperature, right?
Yes.
Do you remember what the normal temp is?
102-ish.
Yeah, thereabouts. So anywhere like 100.5 up to about 103.5. Oftentimes the vets will recommend that you take those temperatures regularly, if not every day. And the reason for that is because even though you have a range that is considered normal, you kind of get to know where your goat tends to run temperature-wise. And so when Stella went to the vet, her temperature was just barely over 103, so still in what was considered a normal range for a goat. However, because we take their temperatures often now, we've learned to do that, we know that that's actually running on the warm side for Stella. Her average temperature is generally around that 101.5. So let's wrangle some goats here.
Oh, baby girl.
You ready for your shot? Come on, sweetie. There. Oh. Oh, Daphne, are you helping? Oh, goodness. Yeah. Okay,
Scratching her?
that's not helpful.
Giving her some itches.
Justin's using a method that we were taught by the vet to kind of keep her head under control and her hind leg. That way she doesn't move quite as much. And we're actually going to go into the armpit because we can get to that nice little tent area of skin a little easier rather than using the skin on the neck. She's got pretty thick fur right now. Oh, she's coughing. All right.
She's coughing out, so that's good.
Let's tip her back
Yep,
a little bit.
yep. I just don't want to do it while you're talking. Ugh. Okay. Good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you did a good job.
Girl.
Oh, let's get your head back up there. There you go.
Now I'm going to take your temp here in just a second.
Got her.
Kind of getting used to doing these, but my hands still shake.
I don't do shots.
Okay. See? A rectal temperature. You can put a little bit of Vaseline on here. We'll have another video that deals with this more in depth. as always. Mwah. Thank you. Daphne. Okay. 1026.
So she's right there.
So it's coming down. That's good. Oh, I know. I know. She's a little feistier tonight than she was yesterday for her first shot, so that's good. That's all a good sign. Alright. Yep, you're very helpful all the time, right in the middle of everything. Stella is very comfortable staying in here with the other goats, which actually the vet recommended that, because being she was hiding an illness for so long, everybody's already been exposed to it. So oftentimes, you know, people will say to isolate the other goat that is sick, and though I understand that concept in certain scenarios, in this one, I think that might actually be detrimental to Stella. So we don't want to stress her out and cause any further problems for her. Again, she gave us quite a scare because she was laying down quite a bit, and that oftentimes is a very bad sign. So that concludes our video for tonight. If you can find it in your heart, say a little prayer for Stella and the rest of the crew. Hopefully everybody stays healthy after that. But and hopefully Stella is on the mend. She certainly seems better than she did. Not quite as frightened right now as we were, but we've got another 3 days of shots, and she's not liking it, and I don't blame her. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to the channel.
You see that?
Yeah. Till next time.
Till next time. 2 thumbs up. Right?
Right. Yeah, that's helpful, Daphne. Very helpful. Oh my. Oh my goodness. You think you want a shot too there, Daph? Trust me, you don't, you goofball.
You.
She's up and moving, so no better.